Hey, welcome back to the vendor walkthrough series. Today we're going to be going through the vendor contract. Very important. It's only 2 pages. Take the time to go and read it yourself, but today we're going to hit the highlights. Let's get into it. All right, so this is the first page of the document. What we're going to go over is just the highlights. I've added emphasis, so when you go and look at your contract, it's not going to look the same, but I'm only going to go over a few things, the most important that you need to know, pretty easy to communicate. The application acceptance and payment terms. Sure, you're going to want to know about that. So applications are subject to acceptance based on submission of photos. We already went over your profile, all the things that you need inside of your profile. So make sure you have the photos. You've signed this contract and you've completed your application. So you've gone in and submitted to each show that you want to be a part of. Approvals are at the discretion of Home for the Holidays, and you have to pay the 25% booth fee, 25% of your booth fee, in order to reserve and secure the booth assignment. Okay, we'll still reserve the right to reject or prohibit any exhibitor depending on the photos that you submit, the type of content that you produce, if it's inappropriate, disruptive, or offensive to either us, other vendors, or the customers. So just make sure that your stuff is in accordance with that. Nothing offensive. We're a family business. We like to make it family friendly. So we do not hold booth locations without a 25% deposit, so make sure you do that. The wait list. Being placed on the wait list may occur if we sell out or at max capacity with your particular product category. So when we talked about the profiles, we mentioned that selecting your specific product of the things that you're selling, making sure that category is accurate. So if there's availability that would arise or circumstances were changed, we'll contact you through the vendor portal to get you approved into the show. So just be looking out for that stuff leading up to the event itself. Likely we'll email you and call you. Booth confirmation. Your placement will be upon the receipt of that 25% deposit. So only once you approve for the show, only once you select your booth, and then you've paid your 25% booth deposit, then you will have secured that location and you'll get a confirmation email there. So booth payments. The remaining balance is due 90 days before the market. There has been leniency for certain circumstances, but you have to call us, you have to email us, you have to let us know, hey, what's going on? Why isn't it completely paid off at that time? Because if it's not paid in full 30 days before the market, we may waitlist you. And then depending on how soon you canceled, how close it is to the show, and at our discretion, you might not be able to have a compensation or a refund. May be able to transfer. It just depends. Depends on what the circumstances are. So that's all on a case-by-case basis. And then the cancellations portion will be there, so you can go ahead and read through all of that. Typically it's a 90-day, 60-day, 30-day admin fee, transfer fee. So just check that and make sure that you're doing what you need to do. Check-in letters are always sent out. Vendors must check in during the show time frame indicated in the check-in letter. So if the show is on Friday and the check-in time is on Thursday from 10 to 6, you need to check in on Thursday from 10 to 6. Checking in on Friday, an hour before the show, not acceptable. And you have to be complete with your booth setup, no dollies, no setup. You can't have boxes on the floor once the show starts, no exceptions. So if that happens, we may ask you to leave. We may not invite you to the next shows. Things like that occur. So we want to make sure that you're timely. We start the show on time. The customers get in on time. So your booth needs to be set up on time. Your products are required to be listed in order for you to sell them at the show. So when you go in and you submit these pictures, tell us what you have. Don't say, I sell clothing, and now you have a candle spot in your booth, and you didn't tell us that you had candles in your booth, because what if the person next to you, all they sell is candles? Well, now you're going to be in competition with them, and we don't want to have that type of an environment where, there's an abundance of candles. We want to make sure that the thing that you're offering is the thing that you get to offer to the public, and you're not in competition with 5 or 10 other people to sell that same item. So if you fail to list an item and it's in conflict with another vendor that has the same product, we will require you to remove that product. So it's friendly. We want to have a place where customers enjoy the shopping experience. So no offensive things, religious, political, cultural, vulgar, inappropriate. We'll ask you to take those things out, and we might ask you to not come back. Licensed products, that's pretty obvious. Anything you're selling like purses, jewelry, tumblers, that's on you to decide. But if you have it, and we see it, we're gonna have to ask you to put that away because you might get fined. Booth setup and display, make it look nice. Display racks, don't put it in the aisle. Stay within your guidelines. Loading and unloading, all products must be unloaded and the vehicles moved before you go and set up your booth. So don't stay in the dock after you've unloaded all your stuff and start setting up your booth. We still have to have the rest of the vendors come in and unload their vehicles and set up, because we want to do this all in a timely manner. Now, we don't put time blocks on everyone where you have to submit it like, from 10 to 11 you can come in. It's very free, so don't take advantage of that and leave your car there all day because we're not checking. So be considerate of your fellow vendors. We're all in this together. We want to make sure that we all have a good show, so make sure you're doing the right thing. Pipe and drapes, we recommend that you don't hang stuff from the drapes, because if you make them fall, it could cause a really big problem, not only for you, but for the vendors around you and even for the customers, depending. So make sure you're not hanging or solely selling your stuff from that. And ask us if you want to hang anything, and we can give you that approval. We're going to talk about gift certificates. Everyone's required to submit a $20 gift certificate for the customers to use. We use this as a part of a raffle system. Small booths, 10 or 10 by 15s, get 1 certificate, 10 by 20s, 2, 10 by 30s and up, give 3 certificates. Just make sure that you're checking that your name is on the certificate before you accept the certificate. When it comes to breakdown, don't do it before the show's over. They still have customers in the building. The show's from 10 to 5, the show's from 9 to 6, whatever the show times are. You've signed up to be there. We can't let dollies be on the floor during the show. Early breakdown at the event is going to disrupt you and the shoppers. It's going to look bad. It's going to look bad on you. It's going to look bad on us, on the people around you. It's going to disincentivize people from shopping at that time. So violators of this rule will not be invited to come back for future events. And we've done it before, so just make sure that you're staying the whole time. And we try to accommodate, setting the time frames reasonably, not making you stay too long during the day, and incentivizing customers to come towards the end of the day as well. So we do our part to make sure that you still have people to sell to. So do your part in making sure that you're there to sell to them and not disrupting your neighbors. Parking. Designated trailer and vehicle parking areas are provided to vendors for each market. A map is given to you when you check in. It's in the check-in letters. The front lots are always exclusively reserved for paying customers. We want them to get into the building quickly and efficiently so that they can buy your products. If you fill up the front lot, where are the customers going to park? Way out in the back. And they're not going to want to come, and they're not going to want to be there. So people who violate that policy may face delay in future market approvals, depending on the market. Some places have bigger lots than other places, so sometimes we can make exceptions where you can park kind of close to the building, but at some of these buildings that we have, that isn't the case. Mind your conduct, be professional. Outdoor booths have a discounted rate. It's subject to weather. If we can get you inside, we'll let you know. All product shipments to the building is something that you must work out with the building. So we're not responsible for you and your products that get shipped there. We don't want to take any responsibility for that. So make sure you organize it with the venue if you can ship your stuff there or not. So now we're going to talk about legal issues, licensing, and permits. Food vendors must have a permit from the health department before they're sampling any of their products. You can go and find that on the participating vendors page and fill it out for each of the cities and counties that we're going to be in. So make sure that you take your portion of responsibility in filing your information with the health department and making sure you have that at the show. get it early. If you don't do that, they may kick you out of the show. We don't have a say-so in that. That's their regulations. So make sure that you have that and it's displayed, and you have displayed the any kind of allergies, any sort. You have your wash bins. You have your permit displayed so that everyone can see that. We already talked about using licensed products, Fendi, Gucci, whatever those products may be. Make sure that you're not having any of those things and selling them without a license for that. But also, you are responsible for doing your licensing and permitting for the sales taxes as well. So we're not going to collect anything from you guys. You guys go ahead and pay that on your own. We're going to have security, at least during the show, and the buildings will be locked at the end of the day. So it's your responsibility to make sure, if you don't want stuff taken out of your booth, we're going to have the building locked, but make sure you cover it, make sure you pick it up, do whatever you need to do there. The fire marshal is always going to be coming to the show. So make sure you don't have any open flames, make sure the aisles are clear. You agree to hold us harmless for anything that occurs at the event or in the facility. If something is stolen, that's not on us. And that's what that's what the contract is going to say, pretty much, is make sure you're parking in the right spot. This is what the setup and breakdown things look like. This is what the permitting and health permits, the legal statutes that we abide by, and be kind to one another is pretty much the gist of it. So if you can follow those things, we think you're going to be a great fit for our shows, and we hope to see you at our next show.